Hello and welcome to another review of games. This one is Masterplan Tycoon. So this one is a very basic version of what I'll call like automation type of tycoons. This one is not necessarily my favorite, but it is the simplest one to describe kind of how this genre works. So I'll do some other games like this, the ones that I really like later, but for now I want to just kind of introduce this genre with Masterplan Tycoon. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and select this slot right here and jump right in. So the whole idea behind automation building, factory automation, is that what I should call it? Is that we are going to be trying to create a sort of system where we're collecting things and then using those things to create other things and so forth. So we're doing this tutorial here. Yeah, zooming in, zooming out. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and build our first building, which is going to be not a storage, but looks like we're doing the lumber camp. So we're going to do a lumber camp. All right, so we're going to put the lumber camp here. And this green stuff here is trees. So this lumber camp now is going to start collecting wood, just wood, plural, singular. Woo. Well, like not there. All right, so now this thing is producing wood. I'm actually going to move it over here because I wanted to collect more wood. And then we're going to build a sawmill. And so the idea is that we're going to have wood coming from the lumber camp, and then that wood is going to go here into the sawmill. I'm going to put it actually a little bit closer there. If this tutorial requires me to put it there, then whatever. So right now in here, if I click on here, oh, it's collecting trees. Sorry, it's collecting trees. So when it fills up, it's okay. That part is planting the forest. So it does both. It plants the forest and then it will cut down trees. So once this fills out, then I'll have 2 trees here, and in just a minute, now we'll have sawmill. So what we'll do is we'll take our button here from tree and we'll attach it there. So now anytime we get trees in our lumber mill, which you can see by this blue bar, it will send it off to the sawmill, and that will turn 1 tree into 2 planks. And then after that, we're going to send those planks off into our storage. There we go. And now that we don't have to worry about that, this particular game, yes, it's factory building and it's automation, but it's also kind of a like a spatial building game, because what's going to happen is if we can't put these strings can't get in the way of our buildings. So we have to make sure that they're in a space. Okay, so you just saw those 2 trees go off into the sawmill. Look at that, we're good. So yeah, space is also important in this game. All right, let's go ahead and build a quarry because we need stone as well. To build, we need a quarry, and yeah, that's fine, I guess. Again, I like to do efficiency. All right, we're gonna need a fishery too. So let's see, can I get? I want to, yeah, let's just do it there. Okay. And let's see, what else? We already have water coming in from our beginning thing over here. We might need to get another watering thing. So sometimes, not sometimes, when you have buildings, these ones I think are not requiring anything, but like the next level of buildings require like a maintenance of, so for example, fish. Fish is something that you need to feed people, and so that is why we have the fishery. So yeah, we already did the fishery, and now we're gonna move the fishery. Yeah, I know, that's crazy, right there. Okay, move it back because you don't tell me what to do. All right, so then we're gonna build a well because apparently that's terrible. I don't want 90%. We're going to get more water. You can see here all the storage of stuff. It also is up here, like our building building materials. The reason we have planks and stones is because when we build this stuff, I guess clicking on the lines deletes them. When we build stuff, we are, see, yeah, it's costing 3 extra seconds. I do not like that. Can I build it right here? And then move this out of the way. Dang it! Oh! This is the trouble. This is the trouble. Alright, let's put that there. There we go. This goes back here. There. So yeah, anytime I'm building something, let's see. The well, for example, costs, you can see up here in this corner, costs 2 planks. So whenever I'm building stuff, you need, you know, different materials to build. So that's why we built planks and stone production first, and now we're good to go. What I'm going to do to speed this along, because eventually we're going to need this anyway, is I'm going to make a new little section here for our water and fish. And to make it more efficient so that we're not cutting through the forest, so I'm going to put a new storage right here, and then I will build another. Can I fit that there? No, I'll build another fishery here. Let's do another well here, right there. And then we'll be able to slide that into that storage. Every storage that you build is a universal storage. So when I put it into this storage, it goes into all the storages. So that's how that works. 2 fish, 5 water. Ran out of planks. All right, that's fine. Let's do that. There we go. And that. And we do have 1 plank. That's fine. We'll just wait. We can just wait. We can fast forward too. Look at that. Let's fast forward. I don't know why we're going slow. In this game, there is no reason for it to be moving slow. Should we do another fish? Yeah, let's do another fish. Okay, now it's time to diversify our diet, and we're gonna get some farming going on, which means we're up to tier 1. So let's do that. We're gonna do the farm, and then what is next? We need a mill. We need a well, which means we need water. That's all, because our bakery is gonna require meal, which comes from the mill, and water. So I'll show you how we can do that. We can do a well over here. And they're probably going to require it, but I'm going to show you the other way to do this. All right, so let's put the mill down. Ugh, why do you have to be so inefficient? We're going to put the meal there. We're going to stick the grain into there. And then what we're going to do is, yeah, we're going to build our bakery when we have the chance. We need some more planks. Depends on, you know, let me see. We're at 0 out of trees, so you know what we might do instead to speed this along? So we might build a second lumber camp. And we'll spread this out a little bit so we have room to pop that in. There we go. So now these 2 lumber camps should be able to produce enough trees that we never really have to worry about a shortage of trees in the sawmill. And that way we get a little more efficiency. This is kind of how the automation factory kind of simulation games work, where you work on finding that timing. So right now I'm checking and seeing, all right, now it's staying full. It's not packed full, and these guys are backing up. It's staying pretty balanced, where these guys are not ever bored and they're producing planks all the time. So now that's good. That's a small thing, because with production of building resources, you don't necessarily need to worry about running out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bakery right here. And then what will happen is we're going to get our meal from here. And then our water, we're actually going to pull from storage. And so then that way, we are, of course, minimizing our issue. Of course, they don't like that. They want us, for the game, to connect it to well, which is super annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a well. Scoop this over here. Turn that off for a second, and I'm going to pop it in there. There we go. Now we've got Arian's life is good. Okay. Pop that out. Go back to what I was doing before. Alright, now I'm going to go back over here and let's build us another storage because we are going to use storage to collect this water as well as the bread. Because once again, they will want us to put the bread directly in like that, but it is much easier to collect stuff into a storage, a main facility, than to, then afterwards to but once again, they're going to be annoying. So I'm going to move this over here. So we can pop the bread directly in. Because they're annoying. There we go. And what? You want the stone to go directly in? Really? Oh my gosh. There's so much stuff. I don't love the tutorial in this game. Disconnect the cord. Why? Just... We're gonna just copy and paste. I think they have a copy? Okay. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Okay. Dear. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect and go back to normal because that is inefficient. Inefficient. Let's build with efficiency, please. I'm gonna pop that back in there. Switch things back the way they were. There we go. Alright, fantastic. Alright, so we have enough food for this mission. So we're gonna go to the brick mission. I think you have to. Alright, so now to keep this game like growing and growing because you know they want to grow, then we go to it. We get transported to another map. This is the map that has clay or brick. I mean, we're going to eventually build brick. So we're going to go ahead and build a storage. The storage, by the way, if you didn't see that, let's see. You see that circle? That's the kind of range in which you can build other materials. So if you need to, you might have to, you might have to build other storages just so you can expand your ability to grow. All right, so now the bread and the stone coming from the other area is now getting sent here to this mission so that we can start moving forward with building ourselves some brick. So we don't need stone because it's getting imported, but we do still need lumber. So let's do that. Let's do that. Pop that. Ooh, pop that in. I'm gonna copy. Can I do Control C? No, I can't. Just gonna click on that. We'll do another one of those guys. Because that is usually what it takes for someone to get fully up and running. Need more planks before anything else. Wait for that. Alright. Trees coming in. Okay. Alright. Let's get a well. Why? Well. Yeah, okay, that was too easy. Alright, we're gonna put a well right there and fish. And we're doing this stuff because even though it's not saying to get that, it's saying we need sheep, stuff. We're still creating our economy base here. Because again, like all this stuff is not really available to like from the other map. So we're trying to just get that stuff taken care of because what's going to happen is when we get to our tier 1, when we get to our, what did they say, close, we need a sheep farm. We get to that, we see down here at the bottom, over here, it says that maintenance is 1 fish and 1 water. So now in order to maintain our sheep farm, we're going to need fish and water. So let's see, I want to maximize usage. don't really want to build here because this is a really good place for fish and wells. Let's go ahead and just build here. We want to maximize the space there. And actually, I should have doubled down. Do that here. Nope, I'm just going to click here for the storage. Let's put a storage right there. And now we will have a super fun wool stuff. Actually, we could just throw it right into the sewing machine, sewing thing, because we don't need yarn wool for anything else. So I'm going to put that right there. And I think 2 sheep farms should be good. But let's see. Sometimes, like right now, you can see it is maxed out here. We have too many trees. In which case, what we could do is throw it into storage. This is like for long-term stuff. You could throw one into storage so that if these are getting maxed out, then you can optimize your usage, and then you could build a sawmill somewhere else and send your trees to be turned into planks in another place. Okay, so we've got sheep farms which are being maintained. You can see here as this thing runs out, it's going to use up 1 fish and 1 water. Same here, 2 fish and 2 water. So let's check our storage to see how we're doing. Fish and water is okay, but it's a little low. So what we'll do is we'll kind of come back here to this place here, and let's go ahead and build a couple more fisheries just to be safe. Yeah, and I'm going to do 2. And then let's do 2 wells. 2 wells. It's not going to fit there. There it is. The question is, will it run? Yes, look at that. All right, so now we got tons of fish and water coming in. So we will be maxed out there, which means we do not have to worry about that for a long time. Okay, what is this one? It sounds intimidating, but I've heard that miners refuse to work without beer. So we need to build us a refinery. Tier 1 again, beer needs a farm and 3% water. So let's go ahead and build us a farm. I'm going to put this right here. Right here. I might expand this out a little bit because I think I'll just have this farm also just send directly into the brewery. Great. Right there. There we go. Okay, so we got the farm growing grain, and then we'll start to cut. Oh, shoot. All right, let's put that there. Then I'll put that there, and that line will go right in there. That is cutting into our farming a bit. So let's scooch that out of the way a little bit. We'll see how bad or good it. No. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that's tricky. Gotta make sure that circle's kind of clear so that the efficiency's up. I mean, the efficiency I always thought was tied just to, like, you know, where they're growing stuff. But as far as it goes now, if it's not at 100%, then it starts taking more time to fill in these different spots. So, you know, something to keep out for. See there, we got 3 extra seconds added to the timing because of the recipes. But I mean, right now we are way full on wool. In fact, we're so full that why not? I know it's not necessary, especially for this mission. But what we'll do is we'll just send one of these sheep farms to another sewing shop, so that we'll have so much clothes that it will be crazy. Also, the beer place is really full, but it's okay. We've got beer now, and now we can do what we came here to do, which is we're going to collect clay. We're going to collect clay, and I'm going to actually do a couple. The problem is that the output comes on this side. It comes out on the right, so this is kind of a tricky place for the clay to be placed. But anyway, let's go ahead and build a storage. We'll do it like right there. So what we'll do, we'll try to make multiple clay pits. This is going to be tough. Oh, so close. Right, let's do that right there. All right, 3 clay pits should be good. So then what we're going to do on this side of it is we'll build our brick factories. And we'll do like brick factories. And normally we would just, what I would do is normally put a storage here before putting it into the output. But because this mission is a temporary one and the whole goal of this mission is purely to get brick, that's it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plop these in so that we have all our brick getting distributed. And then I'm just sending brick out and home. There we go. Boom. Now let's take a look here. Let's look at tier 1. We do not produce enough clay for these brick storages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another. I do 2. And I'm going to do another storage right here. And this will improve our clay production. Come on. And is there any other places? See, I don't think I can get a clay pit here without, like, it's too bad there wasn't a rotating thing, which they don't really offer, which is fine. It just adds to the whole thing. Yeah, so this is not producing enough clay. If I put one there, it will not be able to. That's not good. All right, well that's fine. This is going to be inefficient. That's okay. If I was going to, right, no, see, this is where my brother's crazy stuff. By the way, if you like these kinds of games and you want someone who is very, very efficient in it, you got to check out Blue Bunny, especially with his Factorio games. This is like very, very popular. Even gets affected by that. It's so dumb. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, Blue Bunny is my brother. He really loves these kinds of games, and like Factorio is like this really, really intense version of it. I'll try and do a review of this game for you later, but yeah, he really loves this game, and him and I played this Factorio game multiplayer, and I frustrated him because for me it's like, yeah, let's put it here, like it's not about efficiency for me. It's like, let's just get the pattern out. And I know I seem like a person all about efficiency, but what I'm really about is let's get the tracks. Like for me, you know, I'm looking at this and it's like, okay, I just want the lumber camps to produce saws, to produce the lumber camps to produce trees, to produce planks, and that's it. I don't care about the efficiency of it. I just want it to be done. I want to look at my storage and say, yes, I've got bread. Yes, I've got brick. Yes, I've got fish and water. It's in a surplus. I got planks. I got, well, stone. I need more stone. So, you know, like I want that, but I don't care about how efficient it is. I just want it to be done because my strategy, RTS brain is more interested not in the efficiency of it, but in the strategy. Now that I have these resources, now I can do something like this, so I'm going to keep increasing that. So I guess that's where my thought process comes from, and much to my brother's disappointment, who maybe wants to just be more efficient, like can I do more with less, and anyway. So the clothes and beer that we made in the other one would have to be recreated here, so I would then go about continuing that path, making that. And in this case, I would take a hint from my brother, and I would say, okay, I'm going to make another farm, and instead of plopping it down, I did just do that. Instead of plopping it down, there we go. I'm gonna plop it down to go into storage. So that's kind of how I would do that. And that's it for me on this game. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and if you're interested in games like this, put comment, whatever. Yeah, do whatever you want. I don't care. If there is a name for this genre and I named it wrong, like I'm calling it a factory automation genre, but if you've got a different name for it, please also put that in the comments so that people will know the real thing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will